आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़ आपकी आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़, की आवाज़।
Celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we bring you a podcast series on STEM popularization, science, technology, engineering, mathematics and medicine, supported and catalyzed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. This program is produced by Media for Community Foundation. Creative content and technical support is given by Purvasha Banerjee and Shushanto Das.
एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़ आपकी आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़, की आवाज़, की आवाज़।
Indian Statistical Institute is a public university which is recognized as an institute of national importance. It grew out of the statistical laboratory set up by Prashant Chandra Mohanlanobish in Presidency College, Kolkata. Established in 1931, this unique institution of India is one of the oldest institutions focused on statistics. Primary activities of ISI are research and training of statistics, development of theoretical statistics and its applications in various natural and social sciences. We welcome Dr. Prasun, Professor at Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. In this episode, he shares his experience in the field of teaching, training, consultancy and research.
I am Dr. Prasun, a PhD holder and working in SQC and Work Division of Indian Statistical Institute since past 30 years. And my area of work primarily teaching, training, consultancy and research. And most of the time we are engaged in industry in providing services to the industry for real life problems and giving them the solutions, and covering over manufacturing, covering over IT, service sectors, ITS, healthcare, etc. So during past 30 years, I have primarily worked in process modelings and optimization. This is my core area of research, and under this umbrella, we are working in various problem solving in industries, giving training of them in the domain of quality control, quality management, supply chain, Six Sigma, but then business analytics and all that. Currently, as far as the research is concerned, we are engaged in supply chain area since past 2.5 years, and we'll be covering over, that is the expectation, about 5 to 7 years, because my terms of service will be over by that period. And we have a team in ISI, over 6-7 people, and we are including research scholars, faculties and all that. So we are working as a group, and also we are collaborating with some other universities of India.
In this episode, Dr. Dash talks about supply chain and its digital counterparts.
Today I have thought about basically the topic on supply chain and its digital counterparts. As I have told that my current area of research is that. Basically, I am trying to highlight the basic differences between the traditional supply chain, what was there since many years, and now the challenges either from the top down or the bottom up has come up in the domain of digital supply chain. Now, for example, if I say that if I want to buy a particular product from a retail store, then that particular product has conceived very early, right from the suppliers, the raw materials we supply, and then going through the manufacturer, dealer, distributors, and eventually the retail where from the consumer should get. So that is what is called supply chain operation. I mean, considering all the stakeholders in this pipeline. Now, thing is that so far there are many issues, like estimating the demand, placing the orders, then placing the orders for the input materials, then preparing the product, and then eventually bringing down, converting that particular raw materials into a final product, like a pencil, for the examples I was giving you. So the final product basically has crossed many steps, right from supplier to eventually the retailer point, and it is a step down journey, and then one step is dependent on the other. Like for example, if I don't get raw materials from the supplier, I won't be able to manufacture the product as a manufacturer. Similarly, if I don't produce the product, then I won't be able to distribute the product to the dealer or distributor or the retailers. Now, when I'm talking about the distribution, then of course the transportation situations are coming. So area of research, what we are doing primarily, the cost optimization, how with the help of minimum cost, we can produce the product and we can deliver to the people, right? And in contrast, nowadays people are talking about the digital supply chain, which is basically providing more real-time visibility of the suppliers and all stakeholders in the pipeline to let the supply chain owners indemnifying themselves against the most sources of operations. Now, digital supply chain is nothing but that conversion of the traditional supply chain to a digital platform using some technologies like blockchain technologies, digital twin technologies. So there are AI technologies, ML technologies with the help of doing, and we are also doing the same thing. Looking into the common people requirement and the industry per se, since we are basically habituated with the industry requirements.
Sir shares about the future directions for his current research work.
Let me give you another example. Like say, if I say the midday meal in the school, right? The kids are basically getting the food. Now, suppose there is a disruption, or even the supply of the medicine, or the say blood, or the oxygen cylinders, which we have basically experienced post-COVID scenario or the during COVID scenario. Now, there actually we have realized that we have done some of the work at that point of time for the disaster management, modeling, shelter allocations problems and all that. But that is also very much part of integrated part of supply chain. How the human people or human being will be put into the shelter when the disaster occurs. So COVID is one such of the thing where the medicine supply or the healthcare problems were there. So the industries and the government also, they were focusing heavily on digital supply chain technology. The beautiful example is Swiggy and Zomato's effectiveness, you can see. So basically, we are focusing on, particularly from the research point of view, myself and my other teams also, focusing on the increased efficiency, cost reduction, as well as the customer satisfaction when the visibility is in place. So that is what the digital supply chain is all about. And we are also working in that platform, primarily looking into sustainability issues and the low carbon economy issues.
We get an idea about Indian scenario of this research field from Dr. Dash.
As I have told you, the present focus of supply chain in the direction of digital supply chain is basically through automation, security aspects, interoperability service, circular economy, recycling, sustainability and all that. And we are also looking at typical industries like electric vehicle. There's a very emerging area, right? Then healthcare, primarily the healthcare supply chain and all that. So we will be associated with government companies, in the West Bengal, with who will be working in the tuberculosis area. So it is already confirmed. So we'll be working on that. But as far as the rank is concerned, based on all these issues, primarily in all these common people, problems and the utility areas. Now, World Bank Logistics Performance Index 2023, India is ranking at the level of 38, right? And 5 years ago, the rank was 44. So India has definitely, come up with a lot of improvement. And there are total 139 nations. So out of 39 nations, India is now at present 38. According to Business Insider, let me share with you that logistic costs currently account for up to 15% of India's GDP. So deploying smart supply chain or the digital supply chain solutions to attempt to bring that down sounds like a smart move from the Indian point of view. And according to the IMF Economic Outlook, India stands out with a forecasted 6.8% GDP growth in 2022 and projected 6.1% growth in 2023. That is the highest among the emerging Asian countries. Therefore, the digital supply chain could be a real game changer for India if the industry and research synchronize well. And that's what we are trying to do. Looking at various requirements of the industries, through our team.
Sir also enlightens about the global contemporaries to his present line work.
In Asia, if you look at primarily on these digital supply chain aspects, China, Vietnam and Thailand are coming up heavily, along with Indonesia and in Gulf UAE country. because the world is focusing on this China system, China plus one system it's called. This is a one system, two methodologies kind of that for supply chain coordination, primarily from post-COVID. So for setting up new supply chain, India would be definitely an ideal spot. I mean, that's what my belief is. Also, if you talk about the neighboring countries like Bangladesh, if you look at the Bangladesh, they have come up with very much highly digital technology and they have used in the food supply chain and particularly in the rural areas during COVID-19. So that is basically the source where I have seen that from the World Bank blogs and all that.
Professor talks about the industry and research interface that can be impacted by his research.
Yeah, as I have told you that we are primarily from the consultancy point of view, solution provider point of view, we are primarily associated with many industries. Right now we are working with one electric vehicle organizations from the point of view of digital supply chain because low carbon economy is the main issue over there. The other industry, one we are going to take up, that is a chemical industry. It's a chemical plant located in West Bengal. They are basically producing a product, chemical product, it's a powder form. And they are looking for ISI's help for doing the entire modeling and then deploying it through the digital twin. So that will be a very challenging project in the coming, coming 1 or 2 years. The other engagement I have already told you that we'll be starting from January 24 itself with the West Bengal Healthcare Department that is primarily connected with WHO. And we'll be working on tuberculosis supply chain. That they have a very established supply chain, and we'll be doing some digital technologies to move the medicines, from the stores eventually to the retail consumers in different points. So these are the three challenging industries that we are working or will be working shortly. And as far as the other industry associated with this project, if I name a few, as far as the pure logistics of India is concerned, the industries like DHL, Blue Dart, Mahindra Logistics, TVS Logistics, FedEx Express India, Delivery, Goti KWE, VRN Logistics, Safe Express, these are the few names under the domain of pure logistics. If you talk about pure supply chain service providers, Rivigo is one of them who are doing a very good business with e-commerce type of business, automotive and the foods and all that. 3SC Solution, that is another industry. Then Noodle.ai, that is also a supply chain service provider. Larsen & Toubro is also there, and TVS supply chain. So these are the few industries. Apart from these industries in the domain of logistics and the pure supply chain, probably you may know that the government of India has got a national master plan. That is, the name is called Mission Gati Shakti. Now, this essentially develops the connectivity between industries, ports, different ports and the cities. So basically it's a supply chain area to look into that, to make better decisions, to invest in supply chain so that they can be more efficient while using limited resource. So in summary, let me tell you that digital supply chain of course is very much beneficial, but it requires of course the proper storage capabilities and high computing infrastructure. That is where presently India is lacking in the area, which is basically briefed in Niti Aayog 2020. And right now probably the India has only 2 supercomputers listed in top 500 2019. That's all the statistics I can share with you as far as the digital supply chain is concerned.
We are immensely grateful to Professor for his excellent deliberations.